Nobody buys a house like this to live in. It was abandoned, severely damaged, and parts of it were barely repairable. Yet they decided to renovate the entire place. From the outside, the house still retains the classic look of older American homes. However, signs of long-term deterioration are clearly visible on the roof and exterior. From the first step inside, the house barely had any livable space left. Trash, broken furniture, and damaged materials were everywhere. Natural light was extremely limited, leaving the interior dark and damp, a common condition in long-abandoned homes. The first task wasn't interior work, it was the roof. The roof showed signs of deterioration, and repairing it was essential before any interior renovation could safely begin. Once the roof was secured, the cleanup process began. The amount of trash inside the house was far greater than it initially appeared. Clearing everything out was necessary to reveal the true condition of the structure. Next came the demolition phase. The old wooden flooring was completely removed, along with outdated wall and ceiling layers. Once the structure was exposed, the team conducted a careful inspection to determine what could be kept and what required reinforcement or replacement. After the inspection, a protective treatment was applied to the wooden structure. This step was meant to improve durability and reduce potential damage over the long term. Once the structural work was completed and stabilized, the house moved into another critical phase, upgrading the technical systems. The old electrical system no longer met modern safety standards. Wiring, outlets, and the electrical panel were completely removed and replaced with a new setup. Rewiring wasn't just about safety, but also about supporting the new layout, including both the upper level and the basement. With the technical systems fully installed, the house entered the phase of closing in the interior. Drywall panels were installed across the floors, walls, and ceilings, area by area, from the upper level down to the basement. At this stage, the transformation became noticeable very quickly. Exposed framing gradually disappeared, replaced by clean, continuous surfaces. Once the drywall was in place, the seams and joints were carefully treated. A specialized joint compound was applied to smooth out the surfaces and prepare them for the finishing stages. This process requires a high level of precision, as even minor imperfections can affect the final result. Once all gaps were sealed, the house began to take on clearly defined living spaces. Light, sound, and temperature became easier to control, marking a key transition from a construction site to a true living environment. Paint was applied throughout the entire interior, from the upper level down to the basement. After this step, the difference became immediately noticeable. Previously rough surfaces were transformed into brighter, cleaner spaces with a completely new feel. Before the flooring was installed, insulation was added underneath to improve thermal efficiency and reduce noise between spaces. This step is especially important in older American homes which were not built to modern insulation standards. After that, the new flooring was installed. Each section was carefully placed, creating a solid, level surface across the main living areas. Next came the windows, a key element affecting natural light, ventilation, and insulation. Most of the original windows were severely deteriorated. The wooden frames were damaged, the glass was cracked, and many could no longer seal properly. All old units were removed and replaced with new windows designed to improve insulation, air tightness, and meet modern living standards. At this stage, the space still felt empty, without a clear focal point. That began to change as the cabinet units were placed into position. Each module was assembled on-site and carefully aligned, ensuring consistent height and spacing across the entire layout. With the new door in place, the interior phase of the renovation was officially closed. Outside the house, the fence was completely refreshed. Damaged sections were removed and the surrounding area became cleaner and more organized. The new fence didn't just improve the exterior appearance, it also defined the space and added a sense of privacy to the property. The backyard was fully cleaned and cleared. Trash and leftover materials were removed, leaving the space open and refreshed. With the final touches complete, the house wasn't just renovated structurally, it was ready to begin a new chapter. From an abandoned property, it had been brought back to life.